Hi, my name is Jessica Redline, and I'm talking about week one lab preparation for Bio 225. This week was pretty much just the start of what to expect and how to prepare for labs properly, which is really important. I really liked and enjoyed this week's lab report that we had to fill in and answer questions about because um, it was nice to my favorite part was to plan out the calendar and see become more organized and have a plan on when I'm going to start the labs and when they're due, and when the incubation period needs to start, and kind of have an idea because each lab is time sensitive and has their own incubation. And some have plate pouring, some have active cultures that need to happen, and all of that. So I really enjoyed that part of this week's preparation for lab. I think it was a good start to plan for this next week upcoming, and I'm glad that I have all that information to look back and reflect on. Um, so I know that this class was it. I was afraid to take this class because I thought it was going to be too much, and I had fellow coworkers who took in this class and said that it was going to be a lot of work, and it kind of can get stressful, especially when I'm still working full time and I have little ones at home. So I think it's really important for me to manage my time and effectively and have a plan. My plan is to do a little bit each and every day because aside from the labs, we're going to have a lot of discussions and reading and all of that that's due. And I think it's really important that I stay consistent and do a little bit each day just because I'm busy from the morning up until like late afternoon. I don't get home sometimes until 5, and then life happens and I have to get my kids ready for bed and then stay up and do work. But if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do in order to be successful and take the time to get the work done that I have, you know, extra in the day. Um, in order to have a successful lab submissions and to complete my work on time, my plan is to just put in the work and make sure I set time aside and stick to my schedule of completing these things that I have planned, like similar to the calendar, how that is the plan I'm going to take to complete all these things in a timely and effective manner. Obviously, have support from my family, like my husband, to help with the kids so that I can, get everything done that I need to get done. And also, another thing would be when I'm actually performing the labs, I think it's important that I make sure I read the instructions thoroughly before, multiple times until I for sure get it. Make sure I have all my equipment beforehand ready and set out. I think to be prepared is going to be the best option and the only way that I can reduce error with the lab so that I don't end up wasting material, and because I know there's only a limited supply that comes in the kit. So I think that's really important to do beforehand. And also another thing would be to, for safety, always make sure I have my gloves, my goggles, and napkins in case of any spills nearby, just to so that it's right there in case of an emergency. Also, my plan is while I'm doing these labs is to make sure that my husband is obviously home and can watch the kids and make sure that I can do these lab exercises away from putting my kids in harm or my animals in harm. So my plan is to be just behind my kitchen, which has a gate that the kids can't get through. So that's my plan, is to complete it there while the kids either go out for the day with my husband or they're playing in the backyard or something. But I think that's the only way that I can complete these labs. successfully without any errors, because my kids are obviously going to be a distraction. And if I read the directions thoroughly as well, like that will also help eliminate any possible room for error. And yeah, I think that the plan that I have is pretty good. And as long as I stick to it and I keep working at it and I put in the time and don't procrastinate with any of it, then I should be good. And just paying attention to all the details of the instructions and the lab requirements and all of that. And I think it will be an interesting class and something that I will learn so much from. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a blessed week.